Let me tell you something most people never hear after turning 50. Your body is still incredibly capable of rebuilding, repairing, and feeling strong again, but only if you give it the right kind of fuel. And for people living with diabetes or prediabetes, that fuel isn't what you think. It's not steak, not chicken, not fish. It's something humbler, cheaper, and far more powerful: beans. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, beans, aren't those full of carbs? Let me stop you there. This is one of the biggest nutrition myths that has misled so many people over 50. Yes, beans contain carbohydrates, but not the kind that spike your blood sugar. In fact, certain beans are packed with complex carbs, fiber, plant-based protein that actually steady your glucose and help rebuild lean muscle. They're one of nature's most efficient foods, dense in nutrients, affordable, and proven in study after study to lower A1C, reduce inflammation, and even protect the heart. I've been practicing medicine for over 2 decades, and I've watched hundreds of patients over 50 transform their health simply by adding the right beans to their meals a few times a week. So today, let's sit down like we're just 2 friends having coffee and talk about the 5 protein-rich beans every diabetic over 50 must know, not because it's trendy, but because they truly make a difference you can feel. Let's begin with a simple truth. When you reach 50, your muscles begin to shrink, little by little, a process called sarcopenia. Every year, you lose about 1% of your muscle mass if you're not careful. And that muscle loss is deadly quiet. You don't notice it until one day. Climbing stairs feels heavier, or getting out of a chair takes a bit more effort. That's not just aging, it's a warning. Protein is the antidote. But the challenge for many older adults, especially those with diabetes, is that traditional protein sources, meat, eggs, dairy, often come with cholesterol, saturated fat, or digestive issues. That's where beans come in, as your clean, heart-friendly source of protein. Take lentils, for example, one of the most underrated foods on the planet. One cooked cup gives you about 18 grams of protein, nearly as much as 3 eggs, but without a trace of cholesterol. What makes lentils exceptional for diabetics is their low glycemic index. They release glucose slowly, which keeps your energy stable instead of crashing mid-afternoon. I remember one of my patients, Mary, who used to eat instant oatmeal for lunch because it seemed healthy. Her blood sugar would spike to 180 every afternoon. We swapped it for a lentil and spinach soup with a drizzle of olive oil. The next week, her post-meal reading was 124. No medication changes, no strict dieting, just lentils. That's the quiet power of smart food choices. Then there's black beans, often called the muscle beans. Black beans are protein-dense, around 15 grams per cup, and packed with magnesium, folate, and antioxidants. They're also high in resistant starch, a special kind of carbohydrate that feeds your gut bacteria and helps improve insulin sensitivity. Think of resistant starch as your gut's personal trainer. It keeps the microbes strong, which in turn helps your metabolism work better. Studies have shown that people who eat black beans regularly have lower fasting blood sugar and improved cholesterol levels. I tell my patients, add a half cup of black beans to your morning eggs or toss them into a salad. It's an effortless way to balance your plate and boost protein without relying on animal products. Now, talk about chickpeas, or garbanzo beans, the foundation of Mediterranean health. Chickpeas contain about 15 grams of protein per cup, plus a generous dose of magnesium, which is critical for controlling blood sugar and supporting nerve function. What I love about chickpeas is how versatile they are. Roast them with olive oil for a crunchy snack instead of chips. Mash them into hummus and use it as a dip for carrots or celery. I've even had a patient replace mashed potatoes with chickpea mash. Her energy after dinner soared, and her nighttime glucose levels improved. For older adults managing diabetes, magnesium from chickpeas can also help prevent muscle cramps and promote deeper sleep. 2 things that tend to decline after 50. One of the most impressive beans for blood sugar control is kidney beans. These red gems are not only beautiful on your plate, but also functional medicine in disguise. Kidney beans are high in both protein and soluble fiber, which slows digestion and reduces post-meal glucose spikes. One of the most fascinating studies I've read showed that people who ate kidney beans twice a week had lower A1C levels over 6 months. But beyond the data, what I've seen in real life is even better. Patients who make a simple chili with kidney beans, tomatoes, and vegetables often report feeling full longer and needing fewer snacks. It's the combination of fiber, protein, and plant compounds called polyphenols that reduce oxidative stress, something diabetics are especially vulnerable to. And then we come to my personal favorite, soybeans, particularly edamame. Soybeans are nutritional powerhouses, with around 20 grams of protein per cup. What sets them apart is that they're one of the few plant-based foods considered a complete protein, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids, just like meat. But unlike red meat, soybeans contain compounds called isoflavones that may help lower bad cholesterol and improve arterial flexibility, which is crucial for people over 50 managing both diabetes and heart risk. When I first started recommending edamame as a snack instead of chips or cookies, many of my patients were skeptical. A few weeks later, most came back saying they felt lighter, more satisfied, and noticed fewer cravings between meals. That's because soy protein helps stabilize hunger hormones and improves metabolic balance naturally. Now, let's pause for a moment. You might be wondering, can I really eat beans every day? The short answer is yes, but with mindfulness. Because while beans are wonderful, they are calorie-dense and should be paired smartly with other foods. For example, instead of having rice and beans together in large portions, reduce the rice, add extra vegetables, and keep the beans as your main protein source. If you're worried about gas or bloating, start small, half a cup per meal, and rinse canned beans thoroughly to remove excess sodium. Over time, your gut will adjust and the discomfort will fade. What I want you to remember is this. The key to managing diabetes after 50 isn't about restriction. It's about replacement. Replace the empty calories with foods that work for your body, not against it. Replace quick carbs with fiber-rich ones. Replace animal protein with plant protein a few days a week. Small, consistent swaps, like lentil soup instead of a sandwich, or black bean salad instead of fries. Add up faster than any pill can. I've watched people in their 60s and 70s regain muscle tone, lose belly fat, and stabilize blood sugar simply by adding beans to their weekly meals. One gentleman, Robert, 68, told me, "Doc, I used to think beans were poor man's food. Now I realize they're longevity food." He wasn't wrong. Populations that live the longest, from Okinawa to Sardinia, all have one thing in common. They eat beans regularly. It's not luck. It's biology. Beans deliver plant-based protein, antioxidants, slow-release carbs that nourish your body from the inside out. So, here's my gentle challenge to you. Try it for just 3 weeks. Add beans to one meal a day. It could be lentil soup, black bean tacos, or chickpea salad. Watch what happens to your energy, your hunger, and your glucose numbers. Food has more power than most people realize. And once you feel the difference, you won't go back. Because here's the deeper truth. Eating well after 50 isn't about dieting. It's about reclaiming your energy, your strength, and your joy. Every meal is an opportunity to rebuild. And these 5 protein-rich beans are among the simplest, most natural tools to do it. So next time someone tells you beans are too starchy for diabetics, smile and remember this conversation. The right beans don't raise your blood sugar. They help you control it. They nourish your muscles, feed your gut, and protect your heart. In short, they give your body what it's been asking for all along. It's balance. And if you're ready to take that first small step toward better health. Here's my call to action, not a sales pitch. Not a magic pill, just a doctor's advice from someone who's seen real change. Go to your kitchen tonight, open a can of beans, rinse them, and make something simple. A lentil stew, a chickpea wrap, or even a small bowl of black beans with avocado and lemon. Try it for a few weeks and see how your body responds. Because good health after 50 doesn't come from restriction. It comes from the right kind of nourishment. Your body isn't done yet. It's just waiting for you to give it what it needs to thrive again. And sometimes that power starts with something as simple as a humble bean.